Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Better Together as One podcast and TV show. My name's Margaret Wallace-Duffy, and I am super excited to be here to kick off our new show. Alongside my previous co-host from Let's Just Do This, Mr. Todd Miller, and our new co-host, Claire Gavin. How are you guys?
Excellent. Very
Doing
good.
really well.
Excellent. Well, we are so excited to kick off our new show, and what better way to do that than to bring on someone who I have a great deal of respect for and who leads the city by which my clinic has operated in for 28 years. What an honor to have Mayor Patrick Brown with us. Welcome, Mayor Brown.
Well, Margaret Wallace-Duffy, you're a legend in Brampton, and thank you for the opportunity to join you today. I have to say, not only am I a fan of your Better Together work and how healthcare is so critical, I also have to say that anytime I have back pain, I also come to visit you. So you are someone that I have admired on a professional level, but also someone that I can say firsthand does incredible things. And so thank you for your devotion to Brampton. And one of the reasons I'm such a fan of Better Together is, I think of the city of Brampton. And when the city of Brampton is working well, it's because everyone is chipping in. It's sort of like a car. If only two of the wheels are working, you're not going to go as smoothly and as fast and as efficiently as that car could. And the city's the same way. You need 1,000 people to chip in different ways to really get the city moving and being effective for the community. But healthcare is similar. There are so many different aspects of healthcare, and it needs to be more synchronized. And I think what you're understanding is that there is a preventative aspect, there is a mental health aspect, there is, there are so many things that affect your well-being, so many touch points that can, if dealt with properly, you're not going to end up in the hospital. Frankly, the hospital should be the last resort, and it's why ever since you've been talking about getting ahead of the curve, upstream healthcare, I've been a big fan of the work that you do with Better Together.
Well, thank you so much. And, one of the things that I love and I really want to touch on is your style of leadership, Mayor Brown, is unique in that, yes, of course, you're looking at things like economic development and keeping our community safe, but you also are really big on grassroots, dealing with the people, opening up the walls and the doors of City Hall to welcome in residents. And when I think about businesses and government and all of us working better together, why is that so important to you on a personal level to lead in that way?
Well, I do think a city should be grassroots. The worst case you can ever have for a country or a city is where people feel detached from their community. The most beautiful democracies are when there isn't apathy or where people are engaged. And if you want to see Brampton successful, you want people to realize that they can make a difference, that their ideas count, that their involvement counts and has merit. And so from a political perspective, I believe it's in Brampton's best interest to be transparent, to be open, and to welcome residents to participate in their city. What I find when you do that, I think right now we're looking at the lens of COVID. When you let people contribute, they contribute. And we're seeing that through the generosity of the residents right now. If you look at whether it's donations to the hospital, donations to long-term care facilities, acts of gratitude to first responders, frontline workers, people inherently are good at heart. And I see in Brampton, when you let people participate, you encourage platforms in which they can be engaged, you see beautiful examples of kindness. And that's why I'm a big believer of grassroots engagement, because sometimes people want to help out, they just don't know how to. And I think that's applicable for what you're talking about with Better Together. I think everyone cares about their own health, and if you give them an opportunity to take care of their own health and make it easy, then everyone would jump at that. The challenge is things can be so complicated. Government is complicated, and the most complicated aspect of government, the most convoluted bureaucratic aspect of government is probably healthcare.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, Todd, I know you wanted to ask something, because here on Better Together is when we want to get to know the people that we're interviewing. So you've got a question for Mayor Brown.
Speaking of health, Mayor Brown, how do you personally stay positive and put a focus on your health when much of the news that we're hearing is unfortunately negative these days?
Well, first of all, I should let everyone know who's wondering, watching at home. I'm not driving myself. We've been doing a few drop-offs in the city today, from night's table to the hospital, and so I'm sort of always on the go. So unfortunately, I spend too much time in cars, even during the pandemic. But in terms of how I keep positive, I think you're right. Sometimes the news cycle likes to focus on the salacious, the negative, and so you can't be overly focused on what is the hot story of the day, because beneath that hot story there are so many other examples of kindness in our country and in our community. But an act of someone doing something beautiful is not necessarily a hot story. So my personal life, where I get joy, is waking up in the morning and being able to hang out with my little guy Theodore, who's almost 10 months old. Spending time with family is something that I find relaxing, and frankly, getting some exercise. I have to say, I love hockey, I love tennis, I love running, and if I can get an hour of exercise a day, as long as my wife lets me, I feel whatever stress I have is removed.
Well, I know your wife, and Gigi would encourage you to exercise, Mayor Brown. So that's a good thing. And Claire, you wanted to ask and maybe give a shout out to Mayor Brown's 106-year-old
Oh, congratulations. Yes. Well, I think you sort of just summarized it there. My question was going to be, first of all, congratulations on your little guy, Theo. Love that name. And the question was really going to be, how are you guys doing this, now with a little one, and you're sort of isolated, and, there's not the moms groups or the baby groups or, any of that. How are you guys managing with sort of being in an isolated situation?
Well, my wife has read about absolutely everything to do with becoming a parent. So in terms of being prepared and well researched, she's one of those people that was already reading books when she was 3 months pregnant. She's a bit of a perfectionist that way. But we do have, I've got sisters with kids. Genevieve's got an older sister who's got a son as well. And we have parents that are very active. My mother and Genevieve's mother are very helpful and supportive. And so, having a strong family makes that support network that much, it makes things easier, and so we benefit from that. But being a parent for the first time is always a learning curve, and we're learning things all the time.
Well, congratulations. You're doing a great job.
So I just want to, on the behalf of our Better Together as One team, having you as our inaugural guest has been such a pleasure. We really hope that you'll come back. We have Councillor Willens coming on the show to talk about the Community Backyard Gardens program. We just want to thank you. We know how busy you are, and we truly appreciate the fact that you're behind this Better Together as One movement. So stay safe and stay well.
Anytime, and I promise next time we do this interview, I will not be in a car. I will make sure I've got Genevieve and Theodore with me, and we'll be at home.
I love it, but you're out doing great things. So stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon.